Chester Moore, Executive Editor of Texas Fishing Game Magazine, here at the 2011 ICAST show in Las Vegas with my favorite bass pro, Mike Iaconelli.
How you doing, man?
Wonderful.
Good to see you. Glad we caught up.
Absolutely. Havoc. Tell us about it.
Oh man, I'm so excited about this. I know you probably know the story, but it's very rare in this sport where a company like Berkley gives the pros the ability to design something from the ground up, and that's really what Havoc is. Last year, this is about a year in the making. We started going up to Spirit Lake with drawings, with some concepts and ideas, and that's what Havoc's all about. It's about coming up with shapes that are unique and have different action, So Havoc, for me, my first shape that I came out with, the shape we came out at the Classic called the Devil's Spear, and it's kind of a weird-looking thing, It's interesting when you pull this thing out of the pack, people look at it and they kind of go, what the heck is that thing? Is it a grub? Is it a reaper? But we designed, the initial thought of this bait was to design a bait that you could get into heavy cover, whether it's grass or wood or weed or whatever it is, that when it fell, it would get through real easy, no appendages, fall through smooth. But instead of falling like a rock, we wanted something that had tail action. So, if you look at the cross section of that thing, it looks kind of weird, but it's got ridges in it. And what that does is as the water flows over those ridges, it activates movement. Okay. So we created a bait that could be flipped into cover, punched into cover, that would have tail movement on the fall. Now, the interesting thing that happened is after I came out with this thing, people started to figure out there's more uses for this thing. Okay. So this is a true story. Skeet Reese came up to me about a month after it came out. He comes up to me and he goes, "Man, this Devil's Spear, that's an awesome swim bait that you designed." And I kind of looked around like, but I'm like, "What do you mean?" And, now Skeet was rigging it with a keel-weighted, a belly-weighted hook, and fishing it as a swim bait. Retrieving it straight, rigging it sideways, and killing it on the fall. Same great tail action. And I'm like, wow, it's unbelievable. A couple weeks later, Ish Monroe got a couple samples. He goes, "Man, that's a great jig trailer, especially when you cut the tail." And I went, and that's happened over and over in the last 6 months. So we figured out that you could use this thing not only as a punching bait, but as a swim bait, as a jig trailer, a chatterbait trailer, on a drop shot rig, Carolina rig. There's so many ways to use it. The bottom line is it's got action, and that's what Havoc's all about, is creating unique action. Yeah.
And you said go the ground up, because I think the way it mostly works, the company will go, "We have something, can you tweak it a little bit?"
Yeah.
But you guys actually got all the way.
It's so neat to have that ability. You're right. Most of the time a company will come to you and say, "Here's this new bait we're coming out with. We want you to use it." Didn't happen that way. They said, "Come to us with your ideas." And literally, when we showed up there, guys had notebooks, guys had mental ideas, some guys had computer notes. I even had stuff sketched out on a napkin. I'm serious. That sounds ridiculous, but
I've done it.
Yeah. But that's awesome. And we took those basic concepts and then worked with the professionals up there. These guys are so good at CAD design, and it's amazing that they can take something from an idea and over the course of a couple months, build it into an actual product that goes out and catches fish. That's a pretty awesome deal to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Finesse fishing.
Yeah.
You like to power fish a lot, but
yeah.
You're also known for your ability, because you grew up in New Jersey, a lot of pressured water.
Oh, yeah.
How to finesse fish. You have a book out now.
Yeah, finesse fishing for me has been super important. I do love to power fish, and about 50% of the time when the fish are biting, you can go down the bank and you could just chunk and wind. But when those fish aren't biting, and that's the other 50% of the time, I know everybody's had days where you can't get bit on a spinnerbait, you can't get bit on a crankbait. That's the time to pull out the spinning rod and reel, the light line. And I work with a renowned outdoor writer, Steve Price. I know a lot of you guys know him. And we've worked on this book for about 2 years and finally came out with the Classic last year. It's called Finesse Fishing with Mike Iaconelli. It really is kind of the Bible of finesse fishing, and we try to go over everything from the basics of equipment, rods, reels, line, to all these different finesse techniques. We've got like 13 chapters, and each chapter talks about a different technique. Grubs, worms, split shotting, drop shotting, shaky head, jig worm, tubes, so on and so on, and explaining all the features and benefits of all those finesse techniques. So, definitely if you've got times when you can't catch fish, if you want to get better at light line and a spinning rod, check out the book. You can go to my website, MikeIaconelli.com. We've got the book for sale on there. You can go to Tackle Warehouse and get it. It's a great book. I'm really proud of it.
right, man. Thank you for your time.
Thanks for your time. Appreciate it.